that. Spot fires everywhere. Andrew Bogut, agent provocateur all season. Suarez, Rakocevic, they've been getting stuck in. Club heavyweights went at it after the game on Friday. And then we get to these brilliant point guards. They are 1 and 2 in the voting this season, and they were face-to-face in a shouting match post-game on Friday. We have had, as I said, spot fires everywhere. This one could become an inferno. To set up Game 3, we must revisit Game 2.
Hostile does not sum up what it feels like inside the Adelaide Entertainment Centre right now.
Welcome to NBL Championship Series Game 3. Unlike Game 1, the Adelaide 36ers finally got the memo. They understood the assignment.
Cotton with the left hand.
But like Game 1, they could not silence Torrey Craig early.
Torrey Craig shows them exactly how it's done.
Operation Shut Down Bryce Cotton is back on.
Dellavedova picks up exactly where he left off.
He is wearing Bryce Cotton everywhere he goes.
The 36ers, though, they started to flex.
With the flamethrower DJ Vasiljevic heating up, Glenn Cameron rediscovered his form, and John Jenkins, international proven sniper, Adelaide 36ers was up 1 at the half.
They had to be in front at halftime, and although it's 1 point, they'll take it.
This hostile 36ers crowd, well, they were muzzled because the Sydney Kings, they dominated the third quarter.
They were relentless. They were clinical. Damn it, they were unstoppable.
Galloway steps into the 3 and knocks it down. They're on a hot streak.
Up 14 with under 2 to play in the third.
12 minutes away from 2-0. One hand on the trophy.
Enter King Cotton.
3-time champion, 6-time MVP. Can he answer his city's prayers? Can he bring them back from the brink?
Cotton is a big factor in this game.
Starting to sizzle.
Time is running out. It's the 2-minute warning. Kings are up by 4.
Tension couldn't be any higher. Whatever you do, KD, please don't poke the bear.
Uh-oh, now they've got words.
29 seconds left. Scores are tied.
Rakocevic from underneath.
Chaos from all angles.
10,000 fans stand as one inside the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Davis is the villain. Gets to the basket, misses out. Rakocevic tips it to Cotton for the win. Score! Unbelievable! Bryce Cotton, you bloody hero! Unbelievable finish to the game. Now it starts to get really serious between Kendrick Davis and Bryce Cotton.
Series is tied, 1-1.
Game 3 is going to explode.
Let's go.
This is the Hungry Jacks NBL Game 3 of the Championship Series, and what a treat we are in for this afternoon here at Kudos Bank Arena. The series is locked at 1 apiece and tension is already high ahead of this one. An absolute pleasure to be with you courtside. I'm Jo Healy. I've got former league MVP Derek Rucker alongside me. See, the atmosphere in here is absolutely amazing, but as we know, Game 2 was emotionally charged. KD was at the centre of it. What are you expecting from him today? Because it feels like it's a big moment in his career.
It certainly is, and I think Kendrick Davis will learn quickly from the failure in Game 2 on the weekend. And if you look at his performance, he didn't shoot the basketball well. His decision-making wasn't outstanding. How does he fix that? Well, he digs in on the defensive end. He maintains his aggression, but he tries to make his teammates better earlier, then feel his way, and then attack. But this is a big moment for not only Kendrick Davis, but the Sydney Kings overall.
It certainly is. We can't wait for it. KD, a key for the Kings. Brad Rosen, Damon Lowry. I feel like we know who the key is for the Adelaide 36ers.
Thanks, Jo. Yes, we've just had Mike Wells come and say hello, but I've got Damon Lowry with me. Damon, we saw greatness 48 hours ago. Talk to me about Bryce Cotton.
Bryce, that was one of his most patient, most surgical and clinical games. The way he dissected the defense and waited and picked his spots to get his 28 points, it was a masterclass in scoring.
We saw a week ago where the Adelaide absolutely got destroyed on this venue. Tonight, for me, Rakocevic. This guy needs to come out. He won't start, but he's got to be physical. He's got to let Sydney Kings know you are in a fight tonight. This is going to be great.
Absolutely, it'll be great, Brad Rosen. Thank you, Damon Lowry. What a team we have setting the scene for you here at Kudos Bank Arena. Big crowd in the house. What an atmosphere befitting of a championship series. The men who get the chance to ignite this crowd first are, of course, the starting fives. Let's have a look at the way that they will roll tonight. It's easy to go through, unchanged from game 2 less than 48 hours ago. Galloway, Dellavedova, Davis, Cooks and Suarez for the Kings. Cotton, Vasiljevic, Cameron, Cheatham and Humphreys for the visiting 36ers. We had more than 16,000 at Kudos Bank Arena when these teams met in late January. We are going past that today. Good afternoon, Derek Rucker, Damon Lowry with me in commentary. The scenes we saw on Friday night, boy, this game couldn't come quickly enough after that.
Good afternoon, Matty, and there's no doubt that the emotions from game 2 will spill over into this one. I'm looking to see who Brian Goorjian elects to start on Bryce Cotton defensively.
We can't wait, man. It's been too long already between games for mine. And all these handshakes they're doing right now, acting like they still cordial with each other, that's about to go out the window in about 5 seconds.
For the 4th season in a row, the championship series is at 1-1. Who is going to lead us back to Adelaide? Kings, 36ers, game 3 of the Hungry Jacks 26 championship series. Possession with the home team to start, and this crowd just looking for a reason to go wild this afternoon. Suarez can't give them an early chance, and picking up the loose ball, a man who's been very effectual in this series, Flynn Cameron, particularly game 2. A little quiet here in game 1, but off a 17-point return. Watch the league's most improved, Flynn Cameron for Adelaide. Cotton would love to open the scoring, so misses each way, and Kendrick Davis lets loose early with a miss.
He was always going to take that first shot, wasn't he, Derek?
He certainly was, and I like the fact that he's aggressive. I didn't like the selection of shots, though.
Suarez, guarded by Humphreys. The Brazilian off the mark. Rebound, Cameron. Spare a thought for our officials. The crew, Vaughan Mabry, Ken Widge and Chris Reed, the same 3 from game 1. And we have an offensive foul called in Sydney's favour.
Elbow to the head early. Was it incidental? Of course it was. DJ didn't mean to do it, but we see here just a little bit high. And Kendrick, you got to sell everything in the championship series.
Well, he throws the head back hard to really sell it. It wasn't an elbow strike, more of a hard push with the elbow. Dellavedova attacks.
Does enough to keep possession. Jalen Galloway nursing that shoulder through this championship or grand final series. Suarez gets a good look. There are the first points of game 3 via the hand of Tim Suarez.
And Derek, Matthew Dellavedova is the best post player on the team. You just saw it in. Bryce Cotton was trying to sit in baseline for some help. Delly is going to find the open shooter every single time out of that post-up if he doesn't score himself.
And he was very effective in the post-up against Cotton in the first half of game 2. They didn't really get to it much in the second half, and you see the Sixers don't really commit any early help, and then Dellavedova is able to find Suarez. The Kings are getting good shots early.
Suarez 22 points on 8 of 10 here in game 1 against Adelaide this season. 12 points, 5 boards, a scrap on the ground, won by Adelaide, and Bryce Cotton is on the board.
Wow, just a little sliver of an opportunity to raise up, and Cotton knocks down his first 3-ball of the afternoon.
His heroics in the dying seconds of game 2 will live in the memory for a long, long time. Extra pass from Dellavedova to Galloway, camped in the corner, put it down to Delly.
Exquisite ball movement by the Kings. Xavier Cooks had Bryce one-on-one. Didn't settle for a bad shot. Got the ball moving, found an open shooter in the corner. Speaking of...
Zylan Cheatham.
Wow.
I love a non-hesitant Zylan Cheatham.
Well, he did the same thing in game 2 where he hit it 3 early, and he has to be aggressive on the offensive end.
After a shaky start, the shots are falling. Not that one from Dellavedova, though. Game 1 here, the blowout win to the Kings. They shot the ball above 65%. The 3-ball above 50%. And the 36ers couldn't go with them. Flynn Cameron, athletic down the lane.
Makes such a difference when he's aggressive offensively and able to score the ball. Had 17 in game 2. I thought he was the second best player in the game.
His numbers against the Kings, Derek, this season, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, rock solid. And there he is grabbing another ball. Just over 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Nip and tuck. It was late in the fourth. Zylan cheeked him. Given an open look, but inaccurate with the 3 ball.
Those shots he's got to take, though. 50% now from the 3 from Zylan, but he's that open. He's got to shoot it because you still give a team a chance for an offensive rebound.
Dilly out for Davis, and Kendrick, he drops the 3. Brad Rosen, down to you.
Yeah, I'm just watching the Sydney Kings. They haven't been happy with the way Bryce Cotton's been able to get some early looks. You watch Malawatch will come in now, but it's all about Bryce Cotton. They do not want him to get touches or looks.
Great to have Brad Rosen, Joe Healy, courtside for us, working both benches through this game. And there, the foul is drawn by the Sydney Kings.
Now we'll go against Xavier Cooks. I think even though Adelaide have started off solid on the offensive end, they've got to find a way to get Isaac Humphrey some quality touches. He's gone without through the first 4 minutes of this contest, and both teams go to the benches for the first time.
Of course, the Grand Final Series or Championship Series stands at 1-1. This is the 7th meeting between these teams this season. 4-2 in favour of the Kings. Isaac White going to Humphreys. Now Cotton. Back out to go forward. The pocket pass for Humphreys. Nice play, Bryce.
Great creation there by Bryce Cotton. Just stretched Malawatch out on the floor. Made a play. Good defense there by Isaac White.
One thing about Malawatch, the difference between him and Delhi is KD weaves his way to the rack for an and 1. Delhi, he's warmed himself out already after 4 minutes, so we got to keep an eye on his fatigue. But he understands the angles there. He doesn't want Bryce to use his screen as we check the replay here. Great job by Kendrick putting Isaac White in jail, that hostage dribble.
And they use a Gortat screen by the big there and just shields the big defender so Kendrick is able to get to the rim. And Kendrick is one of the best in the competition at keeping his dribble alive, continuing to probe and explore, and he's off to a solid start here. He's got 6 points on 2 of 3 shooting already.
I like the way we keep the Marsan Gortat's name alive.
Yeah.
Kendrick Davis, an 82% free throw shooter this season. Good with his first trip to the line. It's Zylan Cheatham. Rebound for Adelaide. John Jenkins, step back, 2.
He looks different. Had 14 points in game 2. Some big threes early in the game and in the fourth quarter.
One of the most pure shooters we've seen in his short time here in the NBL.
Mismatch.
Davis thought about it. Goes through Jalen Galloway. 3 more to the Sydney Kings.
Is Galloway the most unassuming, really good player? His facial expression doesn't change. Turned himself into a reliable 3-point shooter. We all know his athleticism. Zylan Cheatham get a nice little midi to go.
Damon rock solid this season for the Kings, averaging just under 10 points per game for them, helping the Kings to this outstanding home record this season, 13-4 at Kudos Bank Arena. Adelaide come here 0-2 here this season.
Well, Adelaide finally catch a break on the defensive end because the Kings have had them in rotations, possession after possession. And with the Kings shooting it at 4 of 6 from the 3-point line, and all 6 of those looks have been wide open.
A lot of it coming from inside outside action. Delhi posting up, finding an extra man. Xavier Cooks getting inside, trading, creating extra passing angles. At some point, Bryce is going to get hit in the beard. We know this. It happens every single game, it seems like.
Watch Malawatch, the offender there for the Kings.
And I think Bryce, just reading his body language when Malawatch is on him, I think he feels most confident as we see a little rub across the face of Bryce Cotton. But I think Cotton feels comfortable against Malawatch in ISO situations. And you see them make a change now and put Torrey Craig on Cotton.
Third foul called against the Kings for the game. That one on Torrey Craig. Grant Kelly, owner of the Adelaide 36ers, very much in the headlines since game 2. He and Andrew Bogut making sure each other knew who they thought was going to win the championship series.
And you know what? I don't want any owners in the headlines. I don't want any of them as we see Andrew Bogut on screen.
The more headlines, the better. I don't care who's creating them, Damon.
We got plenty of headlines. Owners just pay the bills. Cash.
Jenkins over the top for Kendrick Davis. Slick start, John Jenkins.
Derek, come on, man. And have you the purity of that man's jump shot?
Well, he made a quick move away from the ball, caught Kendrick Davis napping, punished him. Davis right back at him. A beautiful finish with his left hand. What a start to this one. 17 apiece.
Quality basketball as it has been through this championship series. This pass deflected by Jalen Galloway. And he gives it straight back to Cheatham. Kosovic, spectacular for Bryce Cotton. 12-8 almost as high as he can.
And this Adelaide bench is really exuberant. And I think they sniff an opportunity here, Damon.
Now to watch the miss, but Craig, the veteran, with all that athleticism, makes sure of the possession. It rotates, finds Suarez. He misses. And the bodies bang, and the jolt forced the ball free of Malawatch.
Adelaide know this is a free swing.
Yeah.
They know if they can steal this one and go home for game 4 in front of 10,000 rabid supporters. Layup. I'm trying to tell you, John Jenkins ain't messing around.
3 of 3, 8 points to lead all scorers, Damon.
The mindset of a shooter, it doesn't take much for the confidence levels to go through the roof, and right now, John Jenkins is stroking it with extreme belief.
Quick turnaround for both teams, but the Sydney Kings had to regroup mentally after letting it get away late. The Amy replay.
Great job there by Rakocevic to get on the deck, and Cotton, despite all of the hard work he has to do, still has the pop and the bounce in his legs to go up and drop that one down.
Mike Wells applauding Zylan Cheatham as he takes a breather.
Cheatham's been good. 5 points. Done an outstanding job on defense as Davis finds a gap.
And finds 3 more, Derek. 22-20 in favour of the 36ers. Big crowd at Kudos Bank Arena. They want the Kings to go 2-1 up.
You got to treat Kendrick Davis's ball screens, Derek, just like you treat Bryce's. You got to show him a second body.
Nick Rakocevic. Vasiljevic finding Cameron from a long way outside. And Sydney take the rebounds. They were dominant on the boards in game 1. Then it swung to Adelaide game 2. The first little flare-up. And the referee's quickly in between everybody.
Good job by Kendrick there, just to shrug it off, maintain his composure. He's off to a really good start. 4 or 5 from the field. And here in transition, Jenkins does a good job of collecting that foul, and then after we get the collision.
Now, Derek, that's that foul that after they've already called the foul, you can do whatever you want. That's the Andrew Vlahoff special. Somebody else already fouled you, and now you come up and just get one extra one in.
Now Mike Wells makes a little chess move by bringing Matt Kenyon into the game, and you know his job now is just to ride Davis as Delhi goes to work on Cotton.
Backing his way towards the target, but leaving the ball behind. You sound like you're on the end of a few of those fouls, Damon, during your playing career.
Yeah, I don't know why he picked on somebody my size. DJ, right in Quatnoy's grill. DJ needs no space, and he's familiar with this joint.
Vasiljevic quiet in game 1, like so many 36ers were, but 12 points. At an inefficient shooting percentage in game 2.
Xavier Cooks received that ball off penetration, goes up, finishes nicely, and on top of that, coaxes referee Chris Reed into calling the block. He'll go to the line to shoot 1.
Derek, you need to be going to the NBL app, especially during the championship series, for all your live scores. Make sure you activate the push notifications to make sure you don't miss a beat. Hooyah and harden up. Don't miss that, Damon. NBL now. There's press conferences to watch, free agency rumbling, some of Derek Rucker's best work on there as well. And the NBL app, your best companion at this time of year.
A few fans in this arena let me know they were not pleased with some of my best work.
John Jenkins again, hasn't missed and still won't.
Listen here.
Yeah.
Listen here, Australia.
Yeah.
Xavier Cooks, you cannot be helping off that man. John Jenkins is proven. Cookie took him right down to the body shot. Mr. Bunny.
Cooks tried to get his own rebound, but Cotton throws it into the legs of Craig, picked up by Quatnoy. Davis with 11 points, make it 13 on 5 of 6. John Jenkins, 11 on 4 of 4.
Matty, the pace and the energy of this game is going to another level as Dellavedova is putting all types of pressure on Cotton away from the ball.
Cotton off the mark, gets the ball, kind bounce.
I'm trying to tell you.
Jenkins with his, wow, more points. I was about to say first miss. It rattled home something you know all about, Damon.
I see what you did there. His misses, well, his shots that almost missed are still going in. John Jenkins is having himself a quarter.
Davis, short in the first. It's an air ball tossed up by the Sydney number 1.
And that's what we saw in the fourth quarter of game 2 from Kendrick Davis, where he ISO bounced, played with it, didn't really put pressure on the rim or try and incorporate his teammates, and that resulted in a lot of misses and another bad one here.
Beaten heavily in game 1, bouncing back in game 2. Cooks blocks Cotton, but Adelaide will go to the first break out by 7. They come back to Sydney, having made a statement at home and go on with the job early. Quarter time at Kudos Bank Arena, thanks to Choice Hotels.
You can feel the tension and energy in the air here at Kudos Bank Arena. It's the 36ers leading the Sydney Kings by 7 points after 1 quarter. Adelaide doing a good job of controlling the tempo so far. Pleased with the way that they are knocking it down, as you can imagine, led by John Jenkins with 14 after the first. Brad Rosen, what do the Kings need to do to try and stop him?
Well, Joe, it was the complete opposite here, as you can imagine. It was about the defense. They hit 7 threes that quarter, and Brian just kept chunking it in there and telling them we've got to be there on the catch. Boys, I want to throw it back to you. They played a bit of small man that quarter, and you can play small ball when you're knocking the 3 down. That's what was missing in game 1.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, he was 7 of 11. The Adelaide 36ers, DJ missed a little runner, but at the same time, you want to really try and attack the Kings inside as well, not get over-reliant on that three ball. But while it's cooking, continue to go for it.
And I'll tell you what, John Jenkins sitting over on the bench didn't want to start this quarter. He's going back with the starters. And Zay gets himself an easy deuce, but I'm looking over at John Jenkins. He is hotter than everybody in here put together. I hope Mike Wells goes back to him sooner rather than later.
4 of 4 from outside Damon. To go in with 14 points to the quarter-time break. Here's Cotton, deflected and then rebounded by Suarez. So Cotton now 2 of 7 for the game, 5 points. Adelaide lead it with Bryce yet to really get going. That's a good sign for the visitors, is it not?
That is a great sign because Bryce, we all know what he's capable of, but it's the others. And we're seeing an early sub right now after 56 seconds. Isaac White's checking in for Bryce Cotton.
Well, in game 2, he played 39 minutes and 38 seconds, and he'll get a breather here. I don't mind this substitution with a little bit of a break. Kendrick hits one from the corner.
He's raced to 16 points, men. 6 of 9, including 3 from outside.
Has Bryce ever been subbed out in the early in the second quarter in his career?
Well, Vasiljevic is left out there. He comes up short on that shot. Rebounded Cooks, and the Kings sense a bit of momentum.
Xavier Cooks got the mismatch.
Galloway for 3. Such a sweet shot. Better finish. Crowd up and about. Timeout, Mike Wells.
All right, that's the end of Bryce Cotton's rest, Derek.
100%. Got to get him back in now. If we look at the Amy replay, really good job by Dellavedova. Just to continue to provide stability for that Kings offense, get people where they need to be. And Kendrick Davis, he just sees Galloway's been given too much space because of the mismatch that Xavier Cooks had created on the opposite block. Kings back in front now by 1.
Now he goes with Isaac White to start. He came in for Bryce. Maybe he's got a rotational system with John Jenkins, so we'll see when John checks in the second quarter.
And we know what great supporters Bunnings are of Mike Wells, the NBL as a whole. Young hoopers getting closer to the action than ever before. Bunnings courtside access delivers fantastic NBL game day experiences across Australia and New Zealand. The next generation are getting unforgettable money, can't buy moments with every team to make sure the next generation of men and women is being inspired by Bunnings. Bunnings courtside access, backing our next generation brilliantly. Spend about 4 hours there every time I go there, Damon.
4 hours?
Expect to only be in there for 5 minutes. 4 hours later, I emerge, Derek. 3 shovels, a rake.
Box full of screws. And Bryce Cotton is back out there on the floor, Derek. The shortest rest in the history. 40 seconds?
Look at the numbers there, a comparison. Kendrick Davis, John Jenkins, leading their teams respectively. Bryce Cotton taking a back seat and then a seat, but he's back out there now. Cameron guarded by Malawatch, and Cooks still gets it done on the left hand.
Strong drive by Flynn. Flynn's the perfect example of backing yourself. He was like over 15 from 3, trusted himself in the last game. Finished with 17, and it's good to see him being aggressive.
On 4 of 7 from outside Damon, so from famine to feast. Kendrick Davis, spin move, nice.
So tough, he's got so much time now when his confidence is at this level. 18 points of the Kings 34.
The 13th lead change of the game. We had 12 in the first quarter alone. Cotton, Humphries. It's the most profitable combination in the league. Bryce Cotton assisting Isaac Humphries.
Isaac has done a good job all season playing with Bryce, getting to those open spots, getting to that short corner, this dunker spot. And Bryce, as we know, is unselfish.
Right now, Damon, it's an interesting dilemma for Mike Wells. His team is right in the game. It's a close game, but Kendrick is going to work with 18 points and 2 assists. Do you rejig your defensive blueprint, or do you just ride this out as long as you're close?
I was just about to say, Kendrick on his way to 40. Out of all the players on the court, he just subbed out DJ, put Jenkins in. out of all the people on the court, Kendrick thinks he can score on every single person out there. And if you thought game 2 was going to discourage Kendrick from being this aggressive, then you don't know Kendrick as well as you think you do.
Humphries made both at the line. A 71% free throw shooter this season. Suarez guarded by Cameron. Looking for an outlet and finding Malawatch. Watch Malawatch for 3. Off the mark. Taken back by Suarez. The replay centre will examine this.
I have a 24-second violation. The shot does not hit the ring and there's an incorrect reset.
So Chris Reed believing that the shot missed the rim, but there was a reset allowing the bucket.
You can see there, that shot looks like it misses the rim and comes off the backboard, Damon.
Tough angle.
Tough angle.
Let's see this one. No, that's no rim. Incorrect shot clock violation, incorrect reset.
So it looked like there was less than a second to go when that ball comes off the backboard and hits the deck, and that will be a shot clock violation. Ball will go over to Adelaide.
And Tim Suarez got to do a better job. They went inside to him twice on the block, had Flynn Cameron on him.
Cameron for Cotton now. Zylan Cheatham waiting baseline. Humphries.
Outstanding spacing there by the Sixers. Get nice high-low action.
Now Kendrick Davis, he misses. Zylan Cheatham off and running, supported by Humphries. 100% shooting through the series, Isaac.
Beautiful move with the left hand. Cheatham in transition. Has something to say also as he finishes.
Malawatch.
This the man right here, got to get going. Been quiet all series. Big shot, Kawhi.
Forces the foul on Humphries. You're right. By his lofty standards, Damon, Kwatnoi, 2 points in game 1, 4 points game 2, averaging above 10 for the season.
One thing we know about Kawhi, he will not lose any faith in himself or his ability.
But the 3-ball has really betrayed him in this postseason. Didn't shoot it well in the Perth series either. And he's been such a critical figure for the Sydney Kings, coming off the bench and providing really high levels of offensive efficiency.
Angus Glover from Southeast Melbourne, the reigning 6th man of the year. Last year it was this man, Kwatnoi, with great effect, and he was in the running to go back-to-back for a long time this season, but yet during this championship series, yet to rediscover his explosive best off the bench.
Short is way off. He's got the yips, which is surprising.
It's his rebound on free throws though for Sydney. And now Kendrick Davis will go to the line.
I don't know if we appreciate what we do, Derek, because we sit here courtside, the speed of Kendrick Davis. Like, the way he took from a standing start after one dribble, he is almost at his full speed, the way he got into the key then with ease.
You know, one guarantee, men, we're back to Adelaide. Game 4 of the Championship Series on Wednesday, April 1. Head to nbl.com.au or the NBL app for all your ticket information. Wednesday, April 1, Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Who are the fools in Game 4, men? First, we've got to work out who is going to take a lead into that game. The series 1 all. Adelaide out by 3 in this game 3. Flynn Cameron. Cotton, pass for Chino to elevate.
Oh, Jesus, like that, see.
Adelaide doing an outstanding job of executing on the offensive end.
Now Kwatnoi, he'll just keep shooting. A much-needed bomb from Kwatnoi.
And he breathes a big sigh of relief. Gets a transition 3 to go. Let's see if that unlocks his productivity.
Vukovic and Suarez, what a battle they've had all season.
I'd come back to Noi here, try and create a shot for him.
Is KD aware of that? There's the pass for Suarez.
Suarez missed him.
And the bounce pass for Suarez. He floated towards the rim and drew a foul on the way.
145, hit on the arm.
You're right, Derek, I'm with you. A guy like Kwatnoi, who's been struggling, finally makes one. And Mike Wells is calling for the square, calling for the box. Let's see. I'm calling that a foul.
Need another look, Derek?
No, I agree with Damon. I think this challenge will be unsuccessful. Looks like there's contact across the wrist.
I think Mike Wells called that without giving time for his replay specialist to have an input. He was convinced that the call went against Adelaide.
I mean,
it's not as clear as I thought from the other angle.
We're going to be real technical about it. When you go to these reviews, and he had ball, had some wrist, we were happy to see that play on.
It's the follow-through that I think is going to land him in trouble.
Yeah, too much wrist.
Coach Wells said legal block straight away and then challenged.
Nah, unsuccessful for mine, but in the perfect world, that's a play on.
We've just seen Cheatham elevate and then levitate, seeming to hang in the air, and I think he might have got this right as well. The replay center about to reward the challenge from Mike Wells. Wow. Challenge successful.
Okay.
Terrific pull there by head coach Mike Wells. Jumps ahead of his replay coach.
Well, if conviction counted for anything, Mike Wells was all in.
So we'll jump it up at half court. And Damon, I can tell by your body language, you're as surprised as I am that that was ruled successful.
Yeah, I thought when it gets technical like that, they'll find a reason to make it a foul. But like I said, in the perfect world, that's a play on. We want to see plays like that.
Here we go. All right, here we go.
He stole it.
Got it early.
Tim stole it.
Well, Vaughn Mayberry said re-jump it.
Hold on.
Our rule is we re-jump the ball. That's what we do.
In America, that would be a violation. And Vaughn Mayberry has just explained to Mike Wells that here in the FIBA game, it's a re-jump.
Suarez says, we from Brazil. We still jump balls all the time in Brazil.
That's a win and then a loss for Mike Wells. Busy couple of moments for him, and that one falls for Rakocevic. Jenkins guarded by Suarez. Bryce Cotton touches too much of the rim. The rebound falls for Noy. 41-39 midway through the second here in Sydney.
It's in the double.
Torrey Cade off his first loss of the Sydney King.
White 12.
This is one of the few times, Derek, I guess in the series,
12,
all regular season, we don't see teams really isolate Bryce on the box like that. And Sydney Kings got so much size and length. And Bryce is trying to avoid. There's nobody out there really for Bryce to guard. You don't want to chase Kendrick around. You want to save your legs, but then they're taking him to the box.
John Jenkins picks up his second personal.
You leave him in wide open, Noy underneath the bucket. Well spotted by Dellavedova, who now has 5 assists. And Matthew Dellavedova just playing his role perfectly.
Delly's playing the zone. He's guarding Zion and Cheatham, but he's really going to be helping off on Bryce Cotton.
Scores are level. Jenkins with a miss.
Felt he was fouled.
Sydney to go back in front. Davis and Suarez, guarded by Cheatham. And Suarez can't keep it in.
Zion and Cheatham saying, I got Delly guarding me. They put Torrey Craig on Bryce there, and Delly's going to be the helper. If I'm Adelaide, I'm posting up. I'm posting Zion up on Delly.
Cheatham for Jenkins. Fake to beat Noy. The shot deserting John Jenkins after such a hot start. And that foul's going to be called on Cheatham.
Jenkins is getting good looks.
I don't think he actually meant to do that. He just kind of stuff.
Back-to-back misses from the three-point line. He can't let it affect his confidence. He has to maintain the same level of aggression.
He just actually had his arm down.
The game slowed down a bit now, Damon.
And now Adelaide in foul trouble. Sydney Kings shooting free throws for the next 4 minutes.
Scores 41 each. This for Sydney to go ahead by 2. Probably an opportune time to tell you, boys, that of the last 10 NBL Championship or Grand Final games, 5, so half of them decided by exactly 2 points. That's how close the pointy end of the season, or seasons, have been in recent years.
20, all right.
And difference 1 after Dellavedova splits his trip to the line. Delhi's first point of the outing. Does have 5 assists. Rakocevic flushes 2.
Clint Cameron's done a very good job of running the Adelaide offense with Bryce playing off the basketball.
Sydney having their 14-game winning streak snapped on Friday night. Strange feeling losing. What has it done to Sydney? What does it do to them from here? Bryce Cotton, Cheatham. Okay, John Jenkins. 3 misses in a row. And the foul here called on Rakocevic.
And we see
no,
that.
it's Noy. What Noy?
We see that last possession, Derek. Anytime Bryce switches on to KD, KD will not, he ain't gonna pass it. He takes that matchup way too personal. He had a good drive to the basket, but Flint Cameron came across and gave some good help and got the block shot.
And in the opener, I talked about the need for Kendrick to continue to be aggressive, but he can really help his team by making his teammates better, providing good scoring opportunities for them.
Cooks showed Rakocevic a hand. Now Cotton for Flynn Cameron. Plenty of air, and it jumps away. Noy the rebound. Kendrick Davis. Back to Kwat Noy.
And Damon, this is why I felt it was so important a few possessions ago to get that ball back to Noy. Now too much time has elapsed since he made that bucket. You've got to capitalize on that and get it to him and try and get his emotions up.
Cotton gets away from Torrey Craig. Sat it up for Rakocevic. And at the finish, let them down.
Bad pass there by Cotton, got into the seam. Had a good 2-on-1 opportunity. Couldn't convert that pass to Rakocevic. Timeout.
Called by the Sydney Kings at halftime. Felix von Hoff, Pete Hurley. Leonard Copeland will talk you through all the highlights. Derek Rucker, Damon Lowry beside me, Matt Russell in commentary, Joe Healy, Brad Rosen courtside bringing you this. Game 3 of the Championship Series. Adelaide out by 1, Joe.
Yeah, exactly right. I've got a special guest with me, Maddie, Aussie boxing star Tim Zhu. Now, Tim, you've fought in some big rowdy arenas like this. How does the atmosphere compare?
The basketball atmosphere is always up at the top, so I've got to say this is up there, 10 out of 10.
Now, you've had the Kings in the boxing ring with you doing a bit of training. Got to tell us, were they any good?
A couple of the boys, I've got to say, look, a couple of them were all right, but most of them were, not too good. I think it's the length. Probably doesn't work in boxing.
Fair enough. Stick to the day job. Now, you've got a big fight in Wollongong next week. How's your own preparation going for that?
Yeah, everything's good. I've been back for a couple of days now. A lot of things on the line for this one, so I can't wait to get in there. Next Sunday, we bang on.
I was about to say, this is a big ticket to take on Errol Spence Jr., so the reports are saying. That's going to be July, August this year. Do you dare to dream?
Look, it's a crazy fight to think about, but right now I got this one guy in front of me because he's coming in for the taking. So next Sunday as well, I'll put it all on the line.
We're looking forward to it. We're right behind you. Good luck for it.
Yeah, thank you.
Good on you, Joe. Great to have Tim Zhu at the hoops in the Gong Easter Sunday. Big fight. There's Kwat Noy. Damon landed a big blow at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Now Tim Zhu trying to follow suit.
Nice play.
Rakocevic finishes.
Back cross screen. Sorry, Maddie. Got Nick Rakocevic underneath the basket on the previous possession. We saw Kwat Noy. He don't just settle for threes, Derek. He knows how to get himself on the rim, get himself something easy. Speaking of,
Xavier Cooks, and one to come. He was on the move, got it done, and might turn it into a three-point play. Brad Rosen, over to you.
You can see Brian Goorjian in that timeout. The next 2 possessions was all about getting the ball inside. At the moment, The Adelaide 36ers have got more than 5 fouls, so the Kings are in the bonus now. Adelaide have only shot 2 free throws to the Kings, and on Friday night, Adelaide had shot 14 at this stage, so it's a big key. He's saying, let's go inside, let's get the hit, shoot the free throws, and let's get a lead going into halftime.
In the postseason, Xavier now 10 of 17 from the line. Lifting those percentages all the time. Silent Cheatham. He has the ring at his mercy when he's like that.
And Derek, you saw that. Zylan knows he's got Deli guarding him. Deli jumps out to help on Bryce. Zylan slips to the rim. There's nobody really there on that particular occasion, but I don't mind the defensive strategy.
Noy continues to blaze away. 3 of 5 shooting, 7 points for the game. KD still leading all scorers. Vasiljevic. Now he can pour on the points. It's Rakocevic. Dellavedova the rebound.
Didn't love that shot by the Sixers.
Oh, ball. Torrey Craig loses it. KD. Bryce Cotton at close range. And the foul will be forced on the Sydney number 1. Head down Cotton, all business. Back to the line.
Bryce with good hands on the other end. Has Torrey Craig down here. Craig just exposes too much of the basketball. Ooh, that looked clean. Looks like there was minimal to no contact.
And the ref was in a totally bad angle to even call that to begin with.
Brian Gorgon not willing.
Bryce Cotton looking for his 7th point here. He's 2 of 8 from the field. These are his first free throws for the game. Making both. Matthew Dellavedova, Derek, 7 assists to this point. He's had 7 assists as a season high 9 times this year. He's going to uncharted territory this season today.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. But Bryce Cotton has 9 assists as Cheatham commits a foul. And Bryce doing a good job, even though he's not scoring the basketball, continuing to positively impact the game.
When you're getting double teamed on every single possession, like even in your MVP year, which is probably why you got MVP, they didn't double team. But Bryce knows it's 4 against 3. All I got to do is find the open man.
And as long as his teammates continue to convert and keep this game tight, Bryce's defender will naturally loosen up because you start worrying about the team as a whole instead of Bryce.
And Mike Wells is going offensive, defensive substitutions with Flynn Cameron coming in for Matt Kenyon. And Matt Kenyon's job is to harass as best he can KD, who has slowed down, still got the 20 points. But only got the, what do you have at the quarter time? 18.
Torrey Craig in his 13th game as a Sydney King. His 12th was his only loss in purple. The man who played 538 NBA games. Quatnoy. And it's tipped away, blocked by Zylan Cheatham.
Great rotation there by Cheatham. Got there quickly.
Rakocevic. Oh, behind the back, what a move. And he finishes at the rim. Nick Rakocevic.
You didn't know Nick had a bag, Derek?
Terrific move. And Deli catches Cotton watching the ball. Cuts back door. Great pass from Davis.
Bryce Cotton trying to win his first
back to you and you just let it go.
NBL championship. He's lost the last 2 he's played in over the last 2 seasons.
And you just did this. I know you did. I saw exactly what happened. We were relaxing, okay?
Boss, just get the ball to Zylan. Forget all this talking. Just get the ball to Zylan.
I
Let's
understand
check up.
what you did and I just saw it.
I want Vaughan Mabry to help me go to sleep at night. We're relaxing, okay? We're relaxing. It's game 3 of the championship series, Vaughan. Lynn Cameron. Cheatham bumps into Davis.
Should be a flop warning too.
The 2 will count.
An aggressive Zylan is a great Zylan. He knows he has mismatches.
Foul called on Suarez.
Cheatham's been outstanding in this first half. 6 of 8 from the field, 13 points. He's been on the glass, just played his best game of the series thus far, or his best half, I should say. He'll go to the line to shoot this extra free throw. Really good first half from the Sixers.
His numbers so far in this series, Derek, game 1, 5 points on 2 of 9, 7 rebounds. Game 2, 7 points at 50% shooting, 8 rebounds, 7 assists.
We all know what kind of defensive rebounding that Zion's going to give you. It's the points. He averaged 12 all season. He's already over his average right now with 13.
Dying seconds of the half. Adelaide by 3. Plenty of points on the board by both teams. And Sydney level it up here with a Kendrick Davis 3. Instead, he drives, gets to the backboard, and draws the and one. He'll shoot at the line to make it 53 all.
Incredible move by Kendrick Davis. Game clock running down to close out this second quarter. Kenyon shows him just a little bit too much as he gets it on his right hand, and then he's able to take advantage of an upright Cheatham. May have been contact down low. What? Oh, doesn't look like it.
I'm sorry, Ken Widgeon.
Too late.
I'm sorry.
I'm already here.
Weiss wants to square. He wants to challenge, but
too late, says Vaughan Mabry.
Good Lord.
Kendrick Davis with the miss, the rebound by Cheatham, and it is Adelaide who will lead us into halftime by 1. So much better than their first game here to start the championship series, shooting the lights out at times, Derek Rucker.
A well-played first half by both teams. Adelaide again for the second game in a row, Damon, will go up with a 1-point lead.
They're feeling good about themselves, and they're doing it without Bryce being his dominant self.
Let's get to Brad Rosen.
Yeah, I got Jenkins here. Jenkins with a great start to the half. Up by 1 at the moment. How you feeling?
I'm all right, man. We let him get back in the game. It's a tough battle, man. We got to keep fighting and fight to the end and see what happens at the end of the game.
No worries. Good luck for the second half. Joe, over to you.
Thanks. I've got Kendrick Davis with me, Katie. Massive first half for yourself. What's most pleasing about the way you're going about it right now?
Just letting it come, letting it flow. Just letting it flow.
You're in this position last game. What needs to change the result?
Yeah, defensively, we're giving up too many points, so and too many rebounds. So we got to rebound.
Good luck for the rest of it.
Thank you.
Kendrick Davis there leading the Sydney Kings with 22 points to his name at the half. Who's going to earn the right to play for the championship on Wednesday? Still a lot more to play here at Kudos Bank Arena. You're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL.
High-octane first-half basketball mainly. Thanks to that, man, he talked the talk during the week, and he's walking the walk right now. Kendrick Davis, 23 points in the first half, and a little bit of deja vu. The Adelaide 36ers leading by 1 at halftime, much as they were in game 1. Well, the second half bring the same sort of entertainment and the same sort of drama that we saw last game.
It's incredible. All we needed was one game to be close, to have both these teams rise to the occasion. This is what we want to see. You got a championship on the line, both teams throwing haymakers early.
Look, when you have an aggressive Adelaide 36ers team and you got help, Bryce Cotton has help, you're always going to be in the game.
Hey, well, let's jump over to Kendrick Davis. He's our Hungry Jacks highlights. He came out from the get-go and jumped him. This is what we were talking about. You can talk all you want, but there comes a point where you got to play ball.
And again, love or hate Kendrick Davis. You're a Sydney fan, you love him. If you're an Adelaide fan, you hate him. To be able to have a first half like this, with everything that happened less than 48 hours ago, that's why he's the ultimate competitor, and that's why he has been in the MVP conversation the last 2 years. He has been terrific. He's got to do it again, and he's got to maintain that control.
Well, he's proven it the whole year. I mean, he's been solid the whole year, and he's always going to play well this game. He's taking it a bit personal, but look, he's that good where he can do that.
And he's taken good shots as well. And a lot of people could have expected, as we look at his Blackmore's player profile, that he would have come out just gunning, emotional, taking bad shots. 8 of 13 for the field, and he hasn't had a bad look.
Super efficient, and there's been times where he could have forced it that he probably hasn't either, so they're going to hope he stays that efficient, stays that disciplined in the second half.
Gordon is one of those coaches. He would have gone to him and said, you lead us, you've been doing it all year long, get hot.
It's amazing to call this guy an X-Factor because of his athletic ability, but he is an X-Factor considering the talent this Adelaide team has. Zylan Cheatham, you've been wanting him to be more aggressive, and we've seen that.
Been asking for him. It's not Flynn Cameron like it was in game 2, but it's these decision-making from him. We've seen him at times be reluctant to shoot. This little short roll has been on all season. Now he's getting to the floater. Okay, what else can he do when he gets to this position? Well, he can dish off to the big. Short roll again. Put the ball on the floor, get it to Isaac Humphries. And when all else fails, Copes, what should you do if you're one of the most athletic guys in the league? You get in the short roll, just go and sit on somebody's head.
Is it fair to say he is the most athletic player in the league?
Oh, yeah.
And when he's aggressive like this, Adelaide looking like a totally different team. Other game, he wouldn't shoot the ball. Now he's looking for shots. That's what makes him.
Only person who's more the same athleticism out here like Xavier Cooks, but the strength of Cheatham. Yeah. He's got to continue to take one bounce, launch, and whatever happens in the air happens in the air.
Hey, you saw the looks on the people's faces here that came to game 1. They said, who's this shooting out there? It's a polar opposite Zylan Cheatham, and it's exactly what the Adelaide 36ers need. Now, Joe said as we headed to the break, one of these teams is going to be playing for a championship on Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. in Adelaide, the most hostile venue. Who's it going to be? We got 20 more minutes of basketball to find out. And boy, if game 2's anything to go by, it's going to be hot out there.
Oh, I cannot wait to get to Adelaide. It's April 1st as well, which means you know Felix and Copes will be there.
Oh, yeah, here we go, here we go. Second half coming up not far away.
welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL Game 3 of the Championship Series. It's the Adelaide 36ers leading the Sydney Kings by 1 point at halftime. Joe Healy and Brad Rosen with you, Brad. How concerned are you if you're the Sydney Kings right now? They've got one man doing it all.
Yeah, I am very concerned. The fact that you've given up 53 points in a half worries me. But more importantly, it is only one guy. Torrey Craig's had 2 shots for 1 point from a free throw. They've always done it by committee. It's not a guy to get 40 points and the next guy to have 10. They need to share that ball and get some shots.
Well, KD said it before the break. They're giving up too many points at the defensive end. If you're the Adelaide 36ers, though, they were in this position last game. How pleased are they right now?
I couldn't be happier. John Jenkins scoring and Bryce Cotton, obviously the MVP of this league's only got 7 points. Adelaide in the box seat to win Game 3.
A huge call from Brad Rosen there. A massive 20 minutes to come. Matty Russell, back to you.
Well, Adelaide, Joe, have their main man, Bryce Cotton, camped on 7 points for the game so far. 2 of 8 shooting. It takes us back to Game 1 of the Grand Final Series, where he had 10 points, 4 of 12 shooting. So by his high offensive standards, he is down. But as you pointed out, he has had 9 assists in the first half, Derek.
Yeah, he's been really patient. He's not trying to force it. He hasn't taken a lot of shots, as you just mentioned. But if we look at the Blackmore's player profile, it's those 9 assists that are vital, because that's facilitating opportunities for Isaac Humphries and Zylan Cheatham and John Jenkins, who have been really good in this game.
He's playing a great game. He's playing a great point guard game. He's being double teamed. Adelaide 36ers have figured out a way to play 4 against 3, and it's working right now.
I was about to say, what tactics do you see Sydney using? You just mentioned what they're doing defensively. Even in offense, are the Kings taking their offense towards Bryce to fatigue their main man?
Anytime they can get Bryce isolated on the blocks, they're doing it. Dellavedova's doing it. Torrey Craig has done it to a small degree. But you don't want to get too focused on doing it. You still want to just play an overall team basketball without making Bryce on the defensive end such a focal point.
If Adelaide hold and build on this lead, they'll go back to Adelaide on Wednesday playing for the championship. Their first since 2002, their 5th all time. Derek, what are you seeing happen from here?
Well, I think Sydney come out in these first few minutes and really try and take control of this basketball game. Remember, they did that in Game 2, where they went up 14 points with only 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. They weren't able to hold on to it, but I look for Kendrick to continue to push hard here to open this 3rd.
Sydney chasing their 6th title, first since they went back-to-back in 22-23. As I mentioned, Adelaide chasing their 5th and their first since 2002. Half-time in Game 3, the series at 1-1. This game separated by 1. 3rd quarter, it's moving time for who? And a tip there by Humphries, falls to Cooks, and Sydney go back in front. We have had now 25 lead changes for the game.
Good patience by KD. Nice little back pick. He set first, and then he found Xavier Cooks on the pick and roll.
Isaac Humphries over the top of Suarez. Off the mark, it's Adelaide ball.
Not a great shot there by Humphries. If he's going to pound that ball like that, he's got to get a better makeable shot for him. Otherwise, going to some type of handoff action, create another opportunity.
The team that has won the rebound count has won the first 2 of the championship games. At halftime, the boards 22 all. Turnovers 3 all. But Adelaide have stopped the Kings scoring any points from turnovers. There's a rebound for Galloway. Kendrick Davis, 22 points, 8 of 13 shooting in the first half. Guarded by Cotton. Galloway gets a good look. And Galloway misses the rebound for Humphries.
Bullet dodged by the 36ers because everybody was staring at the ball screen with KD. Left Jalen wide open. Is once again assist number 10 for Bryce, hitting ice on the roll for an easy deuce.
And that's the type of scoring opportunity that is going to make life a lot easier for Isaac Humphries.
Look, the soft bucket for the man they call Ice.
Talk about a soft bucket. Galloway just strolls into the paint, hits a baby J.
Galloway to double figures. 4 of 5 shooting. Now Bryce Cotton. Still the shots won't go, but the putback from Zylan Cheatham will.
The activity is Zylan Cheatham.
Yeah.
You can talk about his offensive game all you want. He's going to give you that kind of effort every single possession.
Davis kicked it outside for Suarez to miss. Cheatham makes sure of possession. The team's going shot for shot early in the third. Intriguing, high-quality basketball as this series has been.
Both teams getting high-quality looks to score. Whoever can really put some starch in their defense can get a mini advantage in this game.
Cooks through Dellavedova, great ball movement. City, Galloway didn't quite get the look he was after, so goes
Shoot the
close
ball,
range
Matty.
and misses.
Shoot
Derek.
the basketball. Had scoring opportunities.
Sydney high quality in game one to win it by an NBL Grand Final record 44 points. This man, and Adelaide, bouncing back in thrilling fashion in game two to win it by 2.
Bryce Cotton is working hard on the offensive end. That was an amazing possession where he dribbled himself into space and was able to set up Humphries. And right now, he's just doubled over, not even in contact with his team.
And even Delhi, after 3 minutes, just subbed himself out.
Those guys are going at it. It's a boxing match within a basketball game. Shout out to Tim Zhu again.
Great to have Tim Zhu enjoying the basketball. Joseph Swaliti, former Rooster Wallaby, in the house enjoying the basketball as well. Humphries good with his first.
Former Sydney King, Isaac Humphries, just quietly going about his work. He channeled his inner Dikembe Mutombo in game 2 with 6 blocks.
First player to have 6 blocks in a grand final game since who? Damon, I can tell you, Willie Simmons back in 89.
Big Will.
Canberra Cannons. Willie was a serious rim protector.
There's Kendrick Davis, just popping one through.
Kendrick and Bryce are similar in this aspect. Even when they tired, they still fast.
Extremely fast, and their speed makes the game so easy.
Cotton. Another miss. 2 of 10 now for the game. 11 assists, though.
That's too easy.
Davis has it rattle home.
You got to show that man a wall like Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's a 5'10" Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Damon KD to 26 points on 10 of 15. How high is he going? You said 40 earlier on.
Got that 40 feel to it.
McQuatch Malawatch. Is it moving time for the Sydney Kings?
What you thinking, Derek? You thinking timeout?
Well, Mike Wells didn't feel what I felt because I probably would have been inclined to call the TO. He called a set instead to try and settle his troops down.
Big possession, this one for Adelaide. Vasiljevic. If there's a no score and a transition bucket and the crowd makes some noise, expect an Adelaide timeout. Will go Sydney's way, and the crowd sensing something.
Miami replay. The Kings get out in transition after Humphries is unable to secure it. Malawatch, easy finish. And Mike Wells thought about going to his challenge, but was told by his replay coach, do not do it.
Flynn Cameron picks up his 3rd foul.
Mike Kelly 1 from 1 on the challenge front today. Galloway for Torrey Craig. Quiet in the first half, Craig. Not anymore. Backing away from a made 3.
Rocked him to sleep and just pulled up to Jay right in his eye. I thought Nick Rakocevic did a good job of just holding his ground. That's just good offense.
Sydney by 5 midway through the third. Cheatham lost his way, and it's a meek turnover from Adelaide.
Had Nick Rakocevic open in the strong side corner, elected not to kick it to him. Adelaide rattled on the offensive end.
This is Sydney's biggest lead of the game. They found their way ahead by 3 in the first half, but predominantly it was Adelaide. Nice spin move from Craig without the finish. It's off Adelaide. It is Sydney's ball, and listen to the crowd.
You can feel it coming. A three-pointer here from the Kings. Any bucket, I feel like the timeout, Derek, is coming.
If I'm Kendrick Davis here, I'm shooting this basketball. You got a little bit of a gap with the margin. Look to really make a momentum play here.
With Torrey Craig. He's got to the spot inside, and his shot jumps out. Frustration for Torrey.
1 of 5. Hasn't been able to really impact the game. He's been so good in first half.
And it's fraying at the edges for Adelaide in this third quarter.
Well, without Flynn Cameron on the floor, you see they just don't have that secondary ball initiator, and Mike Wells is going to get Cameron right back in the basketball game despite Cameron having 3 fouls.
Watch Malawatch. What a back half of the season he's having. His miss taken by Suarez, and he forces the foul on Adelaide.
This is smart basketball by the Kings. There's mismatches out there on the floor. Tim Suarez had John Jenkins on him on the box. The ball should have went inside to him initially, but it didn't. But he gets the offensive rebound just based on sheer size. And Derek, I would like to see that Adelaide throw up that kind of a junky zone they did in game 2, because that really stagnated the Kings' offense.
So Mike Wells finally calls the timeout, down 64-59. Let's listen into the Adelaide coach.
Let's play, right? Settle in right here, okay? Let's go nose. Bryce can handle it, right? You be in it. Let's go. Let's have you be in it, right? We'll be in nose 52 mash. So BC's got it. Flynn, get open. 5, 4. Let's put 4 here. Okay, John, you're here, right? Get open, right? Screen your own, Bryce, right? And you got to screen your own. And Flynn's downhill to that left, and then we're that way. Okay? 52 mash. You got layup and you got John over the top. Hey, stop. Long game. Rebound.
And we're about to find out what Adelaide are made of. In games 1 and 2, they got down big and were able to fight back in game 2, but there's a different equation here, Matty.
The race to 1,000 points already. He's the highest point scorer in an Adelaide season. He's on 975, needing another 25, obviously, today or Wednesday to join an elite group to have 1,000 points in a season. Andrew Gaze did it regularly. A bloke called Derek Rucker did it as well. James Crawford did it. 1990 was your year, D. Rucker. 1,000 points in a season.
Well, that's news to me, Matty.
No, it ain't.
You told me pre-game.
You know damn well. Derek was a problem back then. Suarez almost airballed one just then. Kings have done a good job, Derek, just taking care of the rock. Only the 3 turnovers in the game is sensational.
Bryce Cotton, 11 assists. He's the first Adelaide player to ever have 10 assists or more in a grand final game. The opposition, KD's gone above 250 dimes for the season on only 66 turnovers. Remarkable numbers. The 2-point guards, he's checked them. He's been a bully in the air close to the rim.
Executed exactly as Mike Wells called for in the timeout. Little confidence boost right there for the Sixers. But this is the end that's hurting their game, and they haven't been able to get stops.
Galloway's pass deflected by Cheatham. Turnover.
Spoke too soon with the turnovers. This one Bryce really wants to live in transition.
Hot for Rakocevic unsuccessfully. Watch Malawatch. I'll give you some numbers regarding his back half when Bull Quoll went down. Here he is, outside for Kendrick Davis. Now Torrey Craig checks his feet, couldn't hit the mark.
Smart play there by Davis, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. He makes the right basketball play. Craig just wasn't able to knock down the open corner 3.
Jenkins, such a hot hand to start the game. Cameron, shot clock inside 5. Flynn fires away. Big shots late in the clock.
Continue.
The minerals, Derek, on young Flynn Cameron.
Hit some big threes in game 2.
Up to 7 points. It's his first triple. 3 of 5 for the field. Suarez got rid of Cheatham and scores.
Good job by Kendrick Davis, just trusting the play. Good pick and roll. Tim Suarez, very reliable, rolling to the rim.
Cameron draws the foul. It's Tim Suarez, the offender for Sydney. That'll be his second.
11, on his elbow, 2 shots.
Again, with Flynn Cameron coming back in the basketball game, you see the difference it makes for the Sixers' offensive execution and their spacing. Mike Wells will bring in DJ Vasiljevic for Zylan Cheatham.
We'd all have to drive a Mitsubishi Outlander LS Black Edition. If you don't drive that, you can pick up more than $40,000 in additional prizes. There's a code word for every game of the final series. Each code word gives you a bonus entry into the prize draw, and what a prize it is. The Mitsubishi Outlander LS Black Edition, the code word today, torque. And that Outlander comes with plenty of it. Spelt differently to the kind of torque we saw post-game in Game 2. Threatened to flare up early in this one, but it's been basketball front of mind for both teams in this Game 3.
This is the 4-guard lineup there that I've been very critical of all season by the Adelaide 36ers. Ice Humphries is about to come in for one of these. Who's he coming in for? He's coming in for Nick Rakocevic, so it's still the 4-guard lineup. There's only 2 minutes left in this half, in this quarter, though, so we'll see. This is his high-octane offensive lineup, but it's the defensive end where his team is vulnerable.
Because of the depth of the Sydney Kings and the perception that they are the better team, it seems like Adelaide is always having to react.
Galloway from a long way outside. He could have hit it from the car park. He made it look that easy.
4 or 5 from the 3.
He knew the moment it left his hand, it was going in, holding the pose and delivering. 70-66. Final 2 minutes of the third. Jenkins for Humphries. Made to work and then blocked by Cooks, who gives a big back to the Adelaide big man.
Humphries got to find a way to get that ball up quicker. Pivoting, can't find vertical space to get up. Cooks does a really good job of going straight up and then sliding it out of there.
Kendrick Davis on the previous possession. Oh, he just got posted. He wasn't paying attention. And JJ got him. Hits it off the glass.
Timely bucket by Jenkins. Well spotted by Cotton. Now has 12 assists.
Jenkins has his first points since quarter time. 14 in the first quarter, and with that he goes to 16 on 6 of 9 shooting. KD from outside. Drops the tray.
Gary, that's no good. Isaac Humphries planted a drop D on that ball screen. KD needs no invitation.
Well, he was defending the second screener, and he was sitting down low, needed to come high early.
Brad Rosen behind the Kings bench. What are you seeing?
Well, the energy is outstanding here, as that's a beautiful move by Isaac Humphries. But I'll tell you what, when they hit this three, this crowd, all 18,373 people are rising as one.
Season high for the Sydney Kings, Brad, beating the 16,500 here, January 25. What factor the crowd as we head towards home here? 73-70, their Kings with their noses just in front.
Well, it's still a little bit of an apprehensive feel, like they're not totally confident in the outcome of this game, but when this fourth quarter comes along, I'm sure they will get really ramped up, and the Kings gonna need it, just like the Sixers got it in Game 2 down in Adelaide.
Isaac Humphries in the drop once again.
Davis misses, Craig can't keep it in.
Lucky.
We'll go back to Adelaide, who at one stage had hit 7 of 11 threes early, Damon. Remember that 7 of 11? Well, now they're sitting on 8 of 22. The three ball just drying up for them.
Kings did a good job defending the three-point line that second quarter and making it a focal point. I like that open side ball screen they ran with Isaac Humphries on the previous possession. Got him the easy dunk.
Yeah, and they put the ball in Jenkins' hands in that instance, Damon.
30 seconds left in the third. DJ Vasiljevic. Outside for Jenkins. He catches the rim and delivered over the rebound. Straight to the clock he went and realised there's time. Let's bring it up the floor through Kendrick Davis.
DJ should have pulled that one. You know it's about to go down right here.
The shot clock barely in front of the game clock. Sydney looking to make this the last possession of the quarter. Davis, pocket almost picked, finds a way to feed Torrey Craig. He can't hit. The putback by Tim Suarez was after the third quarter time break, so we stay 73-70. The fourth quarter nearly upon us. Bogues and his boys, are they going to stay in front, or is there an Adelaide comeback to set up a 36ers lead into their trip back to the City of Churches on Wednesday? It's all to come. Three-quarter time at Kudos Bank Arena.
Watching the Hungry Jacks, the NBL. It is game 3 of the championship series. Just 3 points in it between the Sydney Kings and Adelaide 36ers. Safe to say this one is going down to the wire. Adelaide, they want to stay aggressive in this final 10 minutes. They got to the stripe 21 times in game 2. They've only been there 9 times so far in this one. The message from Mike Wells: stay together, spread the floor, and let Bryce go to work. Brad, over to you.
Yeah, and the Sydney Kings, they were very happy with that quarter and they thought they played really well. But yes, they're worried about this man with the ball right now. They've got to stay tuned to him. They know he can take over a game, but Brian Gorshin said we're in a great spot right now.
Joe, Brad, well done. The Kings' biggest lead of the game has been 6. Adelaide's 7. 30 lead changes. What do we have in store in the fourth? Early miss Adelaide. Rebound Sydney. Suarez, the extra pass for Galloway. Here's 3-ball, jumps away.
A lucky break there by the Sixers. But Damon, Kendrick Davis has been devastating in this game. 29 points on 11 of 17 from the field, 4-6 from deep, and they're going to overturn that call. The Kings will retain possession.
And KD got the 7 dimes and 0 turnovers, playing a real solid floor game.
He's opposite, Bryce Cotton. With those double-figure, an even dozen in the assist column. Not as many points as he'd like, though. Camped on 7, 2 of 10 shooting.
Well, that's what Sydney do. When they defend Cotton well, they eliminate his field goal attempts. And in game 1, when they blew them out here, Cotton was 4 of 12 from the field. And this afternoon, he's 2 of 10. Not that he's playing poorly, because it hasn't disrupted Adelaide's overall offensive performance, and it hasn't led to a significant deficit or spread in this game as Cooks misses the first one.
But it's hard to get shot attempts, Derek, when you got 2 people on you. Like, it's not like he's just out there turning down shots. This is a design defense to limit his productivity. But I'm telling you, if this game stays tight, Bryce will find the cracks.
Cooks gets the second, flamboyantly, but not intentionally. And by forcing Bryce Cotton to give up the rock, he has those 12 assists. The rebounding, swaying towards Sydney now, 29. 31-29 actually in favour of Adelaide. As Galloway is fouled deliberately by Flynn Cameron.
See, even that possession there, Matty, Delhi is picking up Bryce immediately. He's got a forearm on him even at half court. It just gets annoying after a while. Look at this. When he does get the ball, there's Xavier Cooks, your double team. Lazy pass from Bryce leads to a turnover. Bryce does not have any space. The one thing I would suggest, Derek, is just a middle ball screen, flatten everybody else out, and let Bryce operate from the top.
Yeah, I agree. Or just get Bryce through, run him off some cutters, as the referees are right now discussing whether or not this unsportsmanlike foul. And Galloway, now Cameron's in between him and the basket.
That's just a normal foul.
That's just a good foul in transition. I hope this is not upgraded.
So the replay centre at work. Yeah, Flynn Cameron getting in front of Jalen Galloway there. I also thought at one stage Bryce Cotton was in front of him, but he wasn't. Anyway, that's inconsequential because it's a normal foul. Regulation foul.
The problem is, though, it's Flynn Cameron's 4th foul. And that's huge. In comes John Jenkins, so we might not see Flynn again for at least maybe another 4 to 5 minutes.
And this means Cotton will have to stay on the ball a lot more to get the Sixers into their offense, Matty. Sorry.
9 points, an efficient 9 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Forced to sit. Tim Suarez says to the crowd, can you stand?
Xavier Cooks, the playmaking ability, Derek. He could have shot his floater. He saw Tim Suarez open on the 3-point line. Xavier Cooks is making plays.
Sydney now with their biggest lead of the game. What's the answer from Adelaide? Bryce Cotton is a pretty good one, but he can't score. More frustration for the little general.
Delhi's like, I got another maybe minute left before I got to come sit down. Playing some phenomenal defense, and that's Xavier Cooks to Galloway.
They're running hot, forcing Mike Wells' hand. Timeouts, Adelaide, as the Kings open it up by double figures. Sydney 80, Adelaide 70. What little surge by the Kings.
A great offense, and I love their spacing. Kendrick Davis is doing a really good job of being a threat without pressing too hard, and then allowing Xavier Cooks to make really good decisions with the basketball.
And I'm telling you, Matthew Dellavedova, he could run a clinic on how to fight through screens. The way he's face guarding Bryce Cotton, they're trying to pick him, and Delhi is just refusing to be screened, fighting his ass off to get over him, doing a great job.
So this big crowd cheering on the Kings, opening it up by double figures, still a long way to go, 8.5 minutes. Kendrick Davis on 29 points. Jalen Galloway, more on him in a moment, with 17. Xavier Cooks, the other King, with double figures. An efficient 4 of 5 from the field. 7 assists for Matthew Dellavedova. There are some of the providers for the Kings who have this double-digit lead. So out of the timeout, that crowd of 18,373. I said it's the biggest of the season. I've sold the Kings short. It's their biggest crowd all time, going past the Game 5 championship crowd of 2023 against New Zealand. So with nearly 18,500 in the house. Congratulations, Sydney, supporting your Kings, the Mitsubishi Motors 3-point leaders. Well, on top, it's that man, Jalen Galloway. 5 of 7 from the field for Jalen. Kendrick, 4 of 6. John Jenkins, 4 of 8. His 4 came in the first quarter.
They tried to empty out his side to see because Deli is face guarding. Try to get Bryce with a sneaky back door. It is just hard work out there. If we could put a video highlight package together of Deli's defense, off ball, on ball, and that time out there brought him some rest.
Certainly did. And he's just so smart. He's seen all the angles, he knows all the schemes, and he's guarded some of the best scorers in basketball.
Jenkins, good.
Clutch.
Don't forget about that man, Tim Suarez, sagging off. You got to treat Jenkins like Bryce.
Jenkins back to the lead of Adelaide, scoring with 19, 7 of 11. Big to start, he's about to be tall to finish. Rakocevic finds Jenkins again, and it's off Rakocevic and out of play. The big man goes down right in front of the Kings bench.
Well, he got his feet tangled up in pursuit of that stray basketball. And I thought he should have just loaded up the first one when he caught it, Damon. Let that three ball go.
Joe Healy, over to you.
Yeah, I was listening to Adelaide in that last timeout, guys. Mike Wells gave his troops an absolute spray. He wasn't happy at all. He said the effort has fallen off out there. Now, it's only a 6-point margin, 7-point margin, rather. It's not over. There's plenty of time, and he wants to see an adjustment.
Well, at the other end, I can tell you, Brian Gorshin hardly said a word. He was so happy as the Sydney Kings get the ball back here, and it was all Xavier Cooks and Dellavedova. They did all the talking, they composed everyone and said, let's bring this home.
Brian Gorshin got 3 point guards on the floor, Derek.
Yeah.
Xavier Cooks, the playmaker, obviously Deli and KD. That means it's going to be some good offense 9 times out of 10, except for that turnover.
And they gave it straight back to the Kings, Damon. Grabbing at the ball, it goes baseline. And again, a slice of luck for Sydney. Dellavedova, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and a mountain of defensive work.
Well, that's back-to-back stops effectively by the Adelaide 36ers with nothing to show for it because Cotton loses it out of bounds, and then Cheatham on that last instance was unable to secure the basketball, just giving the Kings and this talented offensive lineup too many opportunities, too many bites.
So the Kings will have a reset 7 seconds on the shot clock. Xavier Cooks off the Dellavedova inbound.
Deli saw him the whole time. Saw him. Cookie didn't even, he acted like he wasn't open. Uh-oh.
And finally, Dellavedova gets to 8 assists. Having been to 7 9 times, they force Adelaide out of it. Bryce Cotton pleading with the officials for some love.
Frustration setting in a little bit, Derek. Bryce has had enough of Deli wearing him like a straitjacket. He pushed off, probably lucky to not get a foul called on him. Keep an eye on that matchup.
Wonder if Steph Curry's watching, Damon, being reminded of 2015 and 2016 all over again. That shot is short.
Suarez he had the mismatch.
Cooks for Galloway. Too heavy on the shot. Suarez gets the rebound, and the foul will be called on Adelaide.
We're here. The foul is white 12. White 12.
Tim Suarez, Derek's doing a great job of just positioning himself when the shot goes up.
Jenkins with his 3rd personal.
And Dellavedova will come out of the game just with a little bit of a limp. Done an outstanding job on Cotton to open this 4th quarter. Now Malawach and Torrey Craig will probably share the assignment. But you see how Adelaide really struggle on the offensive end without Flynn Cameron in the lineup.
Watch Malawach to Davis. Back to Malawach. And McQuatch finds a way to score.
Smart by KD. He carried off that screen. He knew the screen was going to be, the pass was going to be open.
First half of the season, Malawach was averaging 5 points, 2 rebounds. Second half, he's up to 12 points and doubled the rebounds.
I think this is the correct call despite Nick Rakocevic calling for a review. It looked like it came off of his hip. And instead of challenging, there'll be a substitution.
Let's see, did this hit Zayd? That's off Zayd's hip.
I had it wrong. It actually came off of Cooks' left hook.
Wasn't even close.
Wow.
That's why Nick Rakocevic sprinted to his bench and said, challenge, challenge, no love, and the big man's
Well, Dame, why did they go to it?
You don't want to blow a challenges early because you just never know, but still, you want to keep it up your sleeve if the game gets tight. Danger times right here.
84-75, Davis, kind deflection, McQuatch, Malawatch catches the rim.
I'm coming back with Flynn Cameron. Here he comes.
Taken by Isaac Humphries. Vasiljevic. 3 points on 1 of 4 shooting. Now Jenkins. Fumble from Isaac Humphries. Shot clock running out. Humphries gets a poor shot away. And will have a stoppage to clean the floor.
And just a bad possession, Damon. Humphries winds up taking a forced and poorly executed shot.
Brad, over to you.
To Damon and Derek, and I just want to say, Dellavedova, he has been unbelievable to start this quarter. There's 5:30 to go, and you've got 3 timeouts left. To me, get him back in the game. Bryce Cotton can win this on his own. Don't let that man get off.
Yeah, I feel you, Dame. Sorry, Brad. There is an opportunity just to get him back in now, and then if he's not feeling good, blow a timeout, or if he's tired or whatever.
Defensive masterclass.
Yeah.
Xavier Cooks puts it on the floor, draws the foul. He'll go back to the line after revving this big crowd up.
Kendrick Davis, what a bounce back game. He was much maligned for his performance and his behavior after game 2. How does he respond? Apparently there was stuff going on in the locker room. They moved some furniture, Derek, I heard after game 2. Look how he comes out and bounces back. 10 assists, 29 points, 0 turnovers. The maturation of KD.
His 5th double-double of the season, Derek. As pointed out, 29 points, 10 dimes.
And game 2 was not representative of what we have seen from Kendrick Davis in NBL26. He lost his composure, but the structure of the Sydney Kings, I'm sure he had the right people around him in his ear, regulating him and getting him focused on what he needed to do today, because the talent didn't go anywhere, Damon.
Not at all. And that man is very prideful.
So the 10 assists take him to 256 for the season on 66 turnovers. I'm not going to do the percentage breakdown, Derek. That's darn good.
Well, it's almost 4-1, Matty. And that is exceptional when you consider 2-1 is the gold standard.
I can't remember when Bryce Cotton took a shot. Or the last one was like a goal team.
The Kings by 11. Rakocevic draws the foul. Hands in the air from Xavier Cooks. It'll be his 4th.
And to your point now, Brad, you mentioned when you get Delly back in, he's been over there long enough. But Brian likes Malawatch's length. You can almost come with, this how spoiled Brian is, Derek. You can come with Delly right now for Xavier Cooks, and you're still bigger than the 36ers.
Men, Cooks has fouled out 3 times this season. He's sitting on 4 personals. How do you play him from here?
Ride him out, because as Damon just mentioned, the championship pedigree of the Sydney Kings is built on so many versatile bodies.
Flynn Cameron for Adelaide, also nursing 4 personals. On ball, it's KD. Cameron hoping to avoid fouling out for the 5th time this campaign. Strong board from Tim Suarez, and Kendrick Davis couldn't put an exclamation mark on it, but a teammate certainly can, Torrey Craig.
Xavier Cooks kept that alive. It looked like it was going to be KD's first turnovers. Bryce, best look he's had, probably this half. Couldn't get it to go.
Kendrick pushes the pace.
Davis fouled by Bryce Cotton. A wild wave of the arm above the head. He got a piece of Kendrick Davis.
And it's just been a sublime and tight performance by Kendrick Davis. Comes off of that Cook's handoff, and you can see Cotton swipes at the ball and gets Kendrick across the head.
Kendrick didn't react. He knows his team is in front. He's having an unbelievable game. Showing some tremendous poise. We forget how young Kendrick Davis is. And like you said, Derek, game 2 was not who he was. That was an aberration.
Saw a shot of Mike Wells, who came into the game with a 6-5 head-to-head record against Brian Goorjian, a winning record against the Kings great. Brian Goorjian's numbers, this is his 26th NBL season. A 7-time Coach of the Year, is chasing his 7th championship. This is his 126th playoff game as coach and his 45th grand final game. Stunning numbers. Brian Goorjian controlling courtside for the Kings. Sydney by 15, 4 minutes to play. Rakocevic closes the gap. Remember, Adelaide down by 14 late against Sydney in game 2. They need the mother of all comebacks here.
Good job by Nick Rakocevic. Bryce is being lit. Like I don't know we can recall anybody being guarded like this all the damn time, Derek. So everybody else has to just step up and shoot the ball more than what they normally would. And Rakocevic, as we know, he got a lot of belief in himself. Good to see him knock that 3-ball down.
And Cotton with 9 points. Well below his totals, but when you talk about the bounce back, Blackmore's player profile, Kendrick arguably playing his best game of the season, given the context. 32 big points, 10 assists, still almost 4 minutes to go in this one, and unseen on that stat graphic there, he has no turnovers.
Averaging 25 points per game this season, Derek. His championship numbers, 25 points in game 1, 20 points on 6 of 25, so a poor shooting percentage, but still getting to 20 in game 2. And here he is topping all of those grand final performances so far with 32, shooting the ball at 58%. KD.
One thing about Adelaide, what I've learned after game 2 is they're not out of it. Like, this is the 4-guard lineup, and they're going to probably junk up the defense and shoot threes. The Kings need to make sure they execute and don't just stand around and think this game is over.
Davis to Xavier Cooks. Cotton couldn't get there in time. Cooks is feeling it, as are you, I imagine, Brad Rosen.
It's an interesting substitution. Dellavedova comes in for Tim Suarez, but he's going to guard the 5-man. He's not going to guard Bryce Cotton, and they're going to switch absolutely every on-ball. Small ball here from the Sydney Kings to bring it home.
Great offensive execution on that last possession. And Kendrick just steering this ship masterfully.
Oh my God,
and scoring his first NBL championship as a result. Kendrick Davis, he'd love to go back to his old city, Adelaide, on Wednesday and collect the chip at the club that let him go.
Kendrick playing like he's got 4 eyes, Damon, seeing everything.
Everything.
Lynn Cameron, he's been good, and that's a big basket to go to 12 points on 4 of 7.
Is this in? Is this end of the floor? Not enough time left in the game. They got to junk it up, try to speed it up, get more possessions.
Stop's crucial for Adelaide. And if you don't get it right, Sydney will punish you. Content to work the clock. Kendrick Davis gets away from Vasiljevic, and now short-armed by Xavier Cooks. There's a stop. Bryce Cotton in the corner, fills it up, rattles it home. Is it Cotton time again at 95-85?
Still a chance. But they need to speed the Kings up on the offensive end. Force some quick missed shots. DJ goes and applies a double. Smart.
Torrey Craig on the end of a Kendrick Davis pass. The bucket and the and one. The crowd sensing something here.
You got to take chances here as the Amy replay. Vasiljevic went out and tried to apply some pressure, but on this replay, you see Cooks so explosive around the basketball. And look at that passing window. Davis delivers a Just a terrific bounce pass.
And then on the next possession, he knows he's going to get double. Now he can see it coming. He finds Torrey Craig on the lob, and Torrey rewards him, gets himself to the strike for an and one. There's no flaws in Kendrick Davis' game tonight.
13 assists and 32 points. So the 13 assists trumps Bryce's dozen by one. But the point scoring, it's been all KD after it was all Bryce at the death in Adelaide.
Well, Kendrick is now approaching the great Ricky Grace for most assists in a championship series game. Ricky had 14.
Good closeout to take that shot away from JJ. But then they bagged off of him.
And he punished them, Damon.
Come on now. The purist hasn't hit one in a while. John Jenkins up to 22 points. 6 of 10 from deep.
The Kings roll inside the final 2 minutes with a 10-point lead. In a game that's had more than 30 lead changes. So gripping early, but the regular season champions are kicking in the fourth. Rakocevic looked around, saw no traffic, and cruises his way to 2.
Double team coming.
36ers craving a quick stop here, a turnover. Turnover and a quick score for the 36ers to breed some real hope. Instead, Tim Suarez screams his way back in D, saying, I've landed a blow that might make sure we go to Adelaide 2-1 up.
And that's assist number 14 for Kendrick Davis. Wow, what a performance by KD.
And what a way for the Kings to raise triple figures. A Davis assist, a Suarez splash. And they'll be hard to run down at 101.90 inside the final minute.
KD has played every second of this game. Every second. You can only imagine the last 24 hours it was going through his head. How they let that one slip. He could have took the shot right here. He could have ISO'd, makes the extra pass to Tim Suarez, trusting his teammates. Absolute stellar performance from KD.
And men, what about the Kings to be beaten like they were in Adelaide, then trail at 7 at quarter time here and be down at half time, to regroup, to believe in yourself, to tap into the experience of Dellavedova, the great coach Brian Goorjian, and then the brilliance of Kendrick Davis, and iron out game 3.
Well, coming into this, the momentum was undefined, Damon, I thought. There's no doubt that I believe that Sydney are the deeper and the better team. And as Bryce Cotton knocks down a deep 3. But Sydney have reestablished themselves and affirmed their leadership and favoritism in this series.
And Adelaide made them play like this. They didn't just, this was not easy. This was an arm wrestle for the whole game. And you just had individual brilliance by this man with the ball and the boys.
This record Sydney crowd stands and applauds Kendrick Davis. Here's Sean Bruce playing his fifth grand final series, and loving every second of it.
Horsham Victoria in the house.
These 18,000, they celebrate a huge Game 3 victory.
They are going to dribble it out, but well done to the Sydney Kings, who will lead us back to Adelaide, 2-1 up and playing for their 6th championship. It's all on the back of the brilliance that is Kendrick Davis.
And a little mini to and fro between Davis and Cotton.
His handshake line, damn it, here we go again.
And Mike Wells has taken exception with something.
He didn't like Sean Bruce taking that 3.
What is the drama around the handshakes? First in Adelaide, and a little flare-up in Sydney as well.
We need handshake cam all the time.
There they are. KD, Bryce Cotton, still yapping, but with a bit more control this time.
I love it.
What a series we have here, Damon. But again, the Kings clearly put their authority on this series here in Game 3.
So it's over to the 36ers faithful. Back to you, Adelaide. Make the Entertainment Centre hostile again. and see if your team, with your help, can force Game 5.
It's going to be crazy once again, Adelaide Entertainment Center. You already know how they're going to come out. They're going to show up and show out again, Derek.
It's been brilliant basketball from both teams. So much drama, great theatre. But the W, the win to the Sydney Kings, 106-93. 2-1 leaders in this best-of-5 game series. Game 4 in Adelaide on Wednesday, April Fool's Day. Well, you can't afford to be a fool if you're a 36er in the game where they're trying to keep their season and their championship dreams alive.
And let's look at that Sydney Kings performance. Galloway, Cooks, Suarez, unbelievable. But of course, the main man is now with Joe Healy.
I've got the Foot Locker player of the game, Kendrick Davis, and with me, KD. A massive second half, especially that fourth quarter. You were massive all game. What was the key to protecting home court?
Just we got stops in the third quarter. Our defense, our crowd got behind us. Our crowd got us going, and we couldn't do it without them.
You're coming off all the emotion of Game 2, the confrontation with Bryce. I saw you talking to him again just there. Mentally, what did this one require?
40 minutes of team together basketball. I can go down the line from Deli, JG, McQuatch, everybody, X, Brucey, everybody, Tyler, everybody that don't even play. And coaches had us prepared. Man, our crowd was unbelievable. We couldn't do it without them. But I just love to compete. I think Bryce would say the same thing. It's all love. I mean, I grew up watching him, like, come on. So I just love to compete against greatness, and I want to be the future of this league, so it's fun.
You got the opportunity to close this out in Adelaide on Wednesday. Good luck for it.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
Brad Rosen, you've got Matthew Dellavedova with you.
I do, Delly. Firstly, just tell me how you feel, and you look exhausted.
I feel good. Always feel good after a win. Obviously, great response. Everyone contributed, but I mean, KD was on another level.
Let's go back 48 hours ago, and we all know what happened. And I hear rumours that after in the locker room you talk, you compose. Talk to me through that last bit.
I mean, everyone had a bit to say. Obviously, tough finish, but we were right in the game. We knew there was some controllable things that we could take care of, and I thought we did a great job of responding. We have great depth and everyone's playing hard, and we responded well tonight.
Great game tonight. Good luck in Adelaide.
Appreciate it.
Matty, back to you, mate.
The storied career of Matthew Dellavedova is it about to extend to an NBL championship. You heard Kendrick Davis. I want to be the future of this league. Thank you, Derek Rucker, Damon Lowry, Joe Healy, Brad Rosen. After the break, Felix von Hoff, Pete Hooley and Leonard Copeland wrap up a Sydney win from Kudos Bank Arena. The Sydney Kings are back on top, one win away from being crowned the champions of NBL 26, and what an answer from that man. He was all talk after the loss in Adelaide, and he walked the walk today. A dominant performance, one of the better finals performances we have ever seen across the NBL, and the animosity, it's not going anywhere. If it's going anywhere, it's going to Adelaide on Wednesday, and we cannot wait. A strong performance from the Sydney Kings, but again, Adelaide still respectable.
Yeah, I mean, they had their moments, right? In the first half especially, I thought that was good from the Adelaide 36ers in a very, we would say, hostile environment. 18,000 screaming fans on the road, less than 48 hours. But Sydney, they flexed a bit of muscle late.
They felt all business, man. 4 turnovers for the whole game.
It's incredible.
When you can come in here and pass the ball and play like you played and only turn it over 4 times, then you mean business.
We're going to be talking Kendrick Davis all the way up to Wednesday, but let's give Jalen Galloway his flowers because he hit some big shots, and you can't win it with one player. You need these guys to step up, and he was special tonight as we look at his Blackmores player profile. 6 of 10 from the field, a majority from the three-point line.
So unassuming, the way that JG goes about it. We know
with a bung shoulder as well.
Exactly right. We know he's an extreme athlete. The shot looks great. They need more guys like that to step up. That'll be key to going into Adelaide to try and win.
And he got him going early. He knocked down these shots in the first quarter. But you got to imagine the way he's shooting the ball, he's defense on the other end as well. So when you got a guy playing on both ends and shooting the ball like this, athletic, it's a winner every time.
And you forget how young he is as well. This guy's still got NBA on the horizon at some point. It wouldn't shock if he ends up there. But right now, the only focus is Adelaide on Wednesday.
Exactly right. I mean, the shot was the only thing that didn't keep him in the NBA when he was there with the Bucks. So now, right now, he's continuing to improve on that. But also, you mentioned Kendrick Davis, give him a whole lot of love. That takes something special. You can love him or hate him. Want a bounce-back performance.
And you know what I like as well, Leonard? After the game there, in his comments to Joe, he was level-headed, he was measured, but he still had that animosity in the handshake line. That hasn't gone anywhere.
He's competing.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I was saying about that, man. He's going to be a player.
Oh, we cannot wait for this. Game 4. Will it decide the championship, or are we going to be back here on Sunday, Wednesday, in Adelaide? The most hostile venue in the country.
It's going to get louder too.
What a performance from Kendrick Davis. What a game. Thank you to everyone. Jack Bennett and everyone who got us to air today, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Yo, Channel 1. Channel 1.